how long can seeds last in the ground? I've often wondered that, so I did a little bit of research. Honestly, the answer varies, but it also may shock you. So depending upon the seed and where it lands, it could last anywhere from just a few days to hundreds, and in some cases, thousands of years. If you don't believe me, go ahead and Google it for yourself. This thought was sparked by the aftermath of Helene. So when I first saw the devastation and the vastly different riverbanks from what my memory knew, I knew that it was the fall, and I knew we were heading into winter, which meant that all the trees would then be barren, leaves and grasses would have gone dormant. I'm one of those weird people, though, because I was already looking forward to spring. I was so curious to see what, if anything, would sprout and grow along the freshly exposed riverbanks. I mean, I knew there was bound to be some seed in the dirt, but I wasn't sure how the soil condition was after all the flooding. Was it too sandy? Did it rip all of the topsoil off and expose nothing but hard, waxy red clay? I had questions, and I knew that the answers would only come with time, so I waited. I was amazed when things started to green up. I noticed a small sapling along the riverbank by the Jones Bridge, and I kept an eye on it for a few weeks until I was finally able to confirm that it was a sycamore tree. In some ways, this wasn't a shock to me because I knew that those trees love being near water, so they're often scattered all along our river and creek banks here in Tennessee. But here's where my brain really went wild. Where did that seed come from? How long ago did that parent tree drop that particular seed? I have personally heard stories of people finding elevator safety sheets from buildings in Asheville, North Carolina on property here in Greene County. So it's entirely possible that the sapling that sprouted on the banks of the river is from a tree that maybe no longer exists, possibly in Asheville, North Carolina. But it's also possible that seed may have been dropped from the tree that no longer exists, that was dropped 10 to 20 years ago, laid dormant in the ground, finally exposed, and landed in a bit of soil with favorable conditions and was able to germinate and bring forth new life in Greene County. It's also possible that it came from a tree 5 feet from where it's growing from last fall. But that's the amazing part. Think about all of the possibilities. Now, if you grew up in church, you're probably familiar with the parable of the sower and the seeds, which tells us all the possibilities of the soil that seeds may have fallen upon. This story's a bit longer, and I apologize for that, but I am going somewhere. I love to raise a garden. It's hard work, but I love it. A few weeks ago, we planted some beans. Some germinated, and some didn't. What part of that particular process did I have control over? Well, the planting and doing my best to make sure that it had ample water and sunlight, but no matter what I did, I could not make that particular seed germinate. In fact, as I already said, some did and some didn't. Same bag of seed, same soil, same conditions, all of those things. Some did, some didn't. So what is our job as Christians? We're to go and make disciples. So can we make the seed germinate? No. Is every seed guaranteed to germinate? Also, no. But what have we learned about seeds today? The point I'm trying to make is that some seeds may never germinate, but we're to keep sowing. Some seeds may not appear to germinate, only to then germinate 10 to 20 years later. It's also possible that you or I could plant a seed that we will never see germinate. Perhaps that seed moves 3 states over. Perhaps after moving, maybe 12 years later, that particular seed germinates. But guess what? It still germinated. Thinking back to that sycamore sapling, I like to think that that seed came from a tree somewhere in North Carolina, a parent tree that has been dead for years. That seed lay dormant in the ground until it was finally given the proper conditions and it germinated. That's how spreading the gospel can be. So go spread the good news and spread it knowing that you may plant a seed that you may never see the harvest from. So this is a reading from a newsletter that I write every week. I typically send these out on Monday mornings, and there will be a link below if you would like to sign up to receive these emails to your personal inbox. Again, I send them out on Monday mornings, so be on the lookout for that. But also, if you can think of somebody who may benefit from reading these, hearing these, seeing these, listening to these, be sure to send it to them. I would appreciate the help there, and hopefully reaching new people, being some sort of an encouragement for them. And again, just my goal with all of these is to be authentic, share stories from my life, share things that perhaps you hadn't considered about with regards to perspective to things. And the more people I can do that with, the better. So share it if you can think of somebody who you think would benefit from it. And on that note, we will catch you in the next one.